So I would say so, yeah. I just think in terms of like individual freakish run, I still think Hayne is going to be hard to ever really top because that team wasn't that good. They snuck into eighth on the last week of the season. They had to win like seven straight to even make the eight, and then he took them to the grand final. Um, there's been some ridiculous runs. I mean, Thurston had a few in the finals where he was carrying these Cowboys teams, to the grand final. 2015 was obviously ridiculous. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's hard to say best run ever, but in terms of just like a purple patch has just carried a team through. Like, I mean, if they win the grand final, it'll be right up at the end for sure. Mount Rushmore of that.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Chris?
Yeah, I think the best way to explain it, yeah, is just purple patch. You can't say that he's had the best season ever of all time. We're talking about a guy that we were saying, hey, we'd rather pick Kalen Ponga, over him for the game one of State of Origin, early this year. We're talking about, hey, completely lost his confidence from round 2 to round 7 or no,
Yeah.
round 2 to 5. And I think then he was out with his PCL. I apologize. But, you've got to also remember, it was, at the end of the season, it was Souths, it was the Knights, it was the Cowboys,
Yeah,
and
good
they
call.
just honestly teams that, they were literally running through. But what is super impressive is, that individual try he had in round 27 against Melbourne Storm. He just left Munster for dead, who's a great defender. And then last week he left Jamal Fogarty for absolute dead as well. These aren't bad defenders. It's not, and these teams aren't, these are all desperate teams who want to win. It's not like, the Knights who went on holidays, for that entire final month in August. So that's what's impressive. If he can just sift through these defenses like however he wants, and if he can make these 40-20s, because that was the thing. Like last week, Canberra was up for a lot of it, in the first half, but then it was him, making these 40-20s that really changed that play. It's the same how, Cleary changes, momentum when he makes those 40-20s out of nowhere as well. And Reece Walsh has that ability. Can he continue that purple patch, or will he run to that game where he just has an absolute shock and then scores 9 in Supercoach points, in round 2?